counting in there.
once it starts to stream because it's slow. There we go. Well, welcome everyone. It has been a couple weeks since our last session. Hopefully everyone had a good holiday season, and welcome to our first session of 2021. This is just our friends getting together playing a Dark Tower Dungeons and Dragons campaign based off of Stephen King's work. I don't, of course, own any rights to his work, and I will say that every time because I don't want to be sued. We are playing a mix of 5e and homebrew. If you don't like it, well, tough shit. So last we left off, the group had gone to Hamilton's door, and they met Hamilton and a high priestess of Kelemvor and another paladin of Kelemvor in a cemetery outside of a temple of Kelemvor. She seemed to know who each and every one of you were, and saw that you had been touched by death before. They asked for your help clearing out a nest of bone nagas and helping to consecrate the ground so that way they cannot respawn. And then upon completing that task, they gave each of you a stone, which I think I added into... yes, so check your inventories in D&D Beyond and see if you have the Stone of Kelemvor.
Yes.
You do? Okay, cool. Then I gave each of you each of you
I
that
don't-
was there. You don't have it?
I don't see it.
Where would it be?
It should
Oh
be
yeah, there it
item.
is. Stone of Kelemvor.
So each of you that at least was there has one. Hamilton, the high priestess, gave you 2 extras for companions that you at that point had not known about. And she also gave you a special blessing, which I believe you have in your I think you put on your character as well.
I believe so.
And you came through the door again. And when you came through the door, you did get the rush of all the memories of all of your fellow companions who was missing. And you all took a rest and then continued down the beach to see another door. And you opened the door and you saw an elf woman run across the door and kind of fall. She looked to be in an alley. And you heard her, you saw her trip and you fall. I can't even speak tonight. You saw her trip and fall when from out of sight you heard a deep throaty chuckle and a deep male voice say, "Well, Alari, it looks as if you have nowhere else to run." And from the shadows, you saw the man slowly walk into view. He was dressed in all white with gold trim on his jacket and shoes. And on the jacket where his heart would be was a symbol of a triangle with an eye in the middle. And he walked toward to Alari, the elf woman who's now cowering on the ground. And she says, "Leave us alone, Savorlo. We told you that we're done with you. We want out." Kind of walks a little closer and crouches down in front of her and reaches out and places his hand underneath her face and forces her eyes to look into his. And he says, "And I have told you that you cannot get out. You belong to us." And that is where we are picking up. What are you all doing?
Well, the elf woman is not somebody that we know, right?
Give me a perception check.
17.
So while you don't you don't know her, you've never seen her before. Looking at her face, you actually are reminded of Luna a little bit. You can see the eyes are the same. You can see, the cheekbones are the same. But you have not seen this woman before.
Okay. Well, I think we should see how this plays out, considering that she's not who we're here for. What do you guys think?
I would say if we wait, not wait too long.
See if the situation starts turning grave and see what we can do to help.
So as you are standing there watching through the door, you see the man get up and you see he has a firm grasp on her arm and he is kind of forcing the woman to her feet. She is trying to struggle and try and beat at his chest to get him away from her. And she is just screaming, "Help, get away from me, Savorlo. We're done. You need to leave." And he's just dragging her out of view of the door.
That's not good.
I feel like maybe we should help. If she,
This is where we need to hop in and help, and it will kind of lead us to. She'll kind of lead us to where we need to go next. I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing through a door. You guys have had much more experience than I have. Has it, like, when you open the door, is it showing you what you need to see, or how has this worked?
It's worked in many different ways. There was one time where I jumped in, I got Zoros, we jumped right back out. There's another time where we jumped in with Adair and we had to like wander around for a couple hours. It's been different.
But has it always been like where you need to be, or has it been?
Typically, we can, well, like the first, when he jumped through mine, he watched a lot of things happen before before he had to jump through.
Correct.
So it's like, I guess my question is, do we want to get too involved in this right away or what?
I mean,
My
obviously.
only thing is, sorry, go ahead, Camelton.
Thanks, tiny human.
You're welcome.
I mean, it looks like she's in trouble, and this is what the door has shown us. So, if it was me, I would say, hey, let's get in there and see if we can help her out and see if she can lead us to. I know we don't know her, but
All in then. Let's roll.
Yeah.
I say we
Okay.
go.
As you jump through the door, you see Ilari, the woman, and Savorlo, the man, have walked down the alley a little bit. They both kind of turn around in surprise at hearing a bunch of people moving around behind them. And you can see a momentary look of confusion on their faces, and then Savorlo lets out a piercing whistle and kind of pushes Ilari to the side. And as you are watching, the shadows in the alley start to kind of coalesce and form into these humanoid shapes. And then they start growing brighter and brighter as their heads almost appear to be on fire. And you are met with Savorlo and 5 of these.
that's not good.
That's interesting.
Firefight.
Got like a taser face.
And with that, we can go ahead and roll initiative.
Man, that was quick.
Getting right into it.
This time.
Uh,
Oh, that's bad.
Oh,
Getting 15.
Wait,
Oh,
We have
you're
to-
gonna ask, right?
Yep, and that's a nat 20 for the first roll of the year.
That seems about right for you.
A net zero?
Apparently none of us rolled well.
You need to roll. Oh, never mind, you're not.
I was just kind of mean. You need to roll. Oh, wait.
Sorry, you're not alive yet.
Right.
It's just the order
I know.
of
I know. Yeah,
everything.
but started off not rolling well, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna change this dice out for another. roll
Yeah,
time.
I was gonna go with a different one, and then I was like, no, it'll be fine.
Was that your fire starting dice?
No, we chucked those already.
Oh,
I'm afraid to do any fire anymore.
I'll tell you, it certainly brightens up the encounter. There, I summon fire. No, you won't.
It's a moment of levity in battle.
Okay.
Everyone just take a break, let out a chuckle, diffuse the situation a little.
Everybody high fives and we laugh. And
Pretty soon, her reputation's going to precede her, and the mobs are going to start chuckling too, and we'll have advantage.
Yeah. I'm gonna have some like great nickname of like I don't even know. I can't think of anything that's the opposite of fire starter.
I think fire starters are good.
25 to 20.
It's ironic.
What'd you say, Kev?
Said 25 to 20.
20 for me.
You got a 20? Um, 20 to 15.
That's me, 15.
15 to 10.
Ugh.
10 to 5.
6,
Whoa.
8. Sorry, it was 8. With my
got 5.
What'd you get, Hamilton? So Hamilton's going last. Okay.
All right.
gives you time to assess the situation.
Mm.
Okay, good.
So Savorlo kind of steps in front of the Azers, which are the creatures now in front of you, and kind of narrows his eyes at you and says, "I don't know who you are, but you are not taking her." And he is going, you see him kind of moving his fingers a little bit and mouthing some words. And he shoots a firebolt in Eth's direction, but it misses. This one. Okay, so the Azer just moves in a little bit closer. And then we are at Faustus. So Faustus, you are this one right here that I now have circled. You're muted.
Yeah, no, just calculate distance real quick. Is
This
that
is there's
Azer's,
about 30
uh,
feet away, 25, 30
yeah.
feet away.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get straight to the man in white.
You would not.
So let me go as far to the side as I can go. At Azer.
So you can either go here or here. Sorry,
Uh,
I don't know if they actually showed either one, but
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that one's fine.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do inflict wounds as a second level.
Okay. Is that a save or is that an attack roll?
It's a 15 hit.
So it's an attack roll.
It's attack roll.
15 does not hit, unfortunately.
All right.
Oh, God.
And then we are up to Zoros.
Well, guess I'll scoot in by the corner of the house, tack A.
Okay.
I missed
What'd you get?
5.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely. Okay.
This isn't looking good.
This Azer is going to come up to Faustus and attack.
Think we have those rocks. Not enough to get past 15. Faustus missed with a 15. I'm pretty sure.
Not your five's not going.
My
high.
5's not gonna hit.
So Faustus, he comes up and he swings with his warhammer, and he hits you for 8 points of bludgeoning damage and 2 points of fire damage. And then we are up to Azer.
I am I highlighted in green?
You are.
30.
Hmm.
Not 20.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't- No, it's Faustus.
try and throw an ice knife at the lower of the closer A.
That one?
That one, yeah.
Okay.
Lady.
As a 12.
12 does not hit, unfortunately.
I didn't think so.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do? Did you want to move anywhere? Or do you want to stay where you are?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am. Thank you.
Okay. Azer 1. Not going to be able to fit through because that's not exactly 5 feet in between those two. So he is stuck there. And we come up to F.
So can you kind of put me a little bit back away from,
Maxwell, God damn it.
no, I just meant like get me closer, but like kind of in between where Zoros
Yeah.
and a little bit further to the left. Okay. I don't think this is going to do a lot, but I'm going to want to do burning hands to those 3 Azers. Get me a little bit closer to get all 3 of them. It's only a 15-foot cone.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. So you light your hands up and you point it in their direction. And as the fire courses over their body, you can see the fire around their head kind of intensify a little bit, but they seem unscathed.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
Okay, so that was F. This Azer is going to come up over here, but can't really get to anyone because of the door or because of the building. Caesar is going to come here and is going to take a swing at Faustus, but misses. And then we are at Hamilton. You are that one right there.
I can't. I won't be able to get in to actually attack anybody, will I?
Since you are a half orc instead of, their stout dwarf-like body, I'll let you squeeze in between this little area, so you'd be able to attack that one right there.
Okay. I will go ahead and try and hit.
Okay.
Oh, nat 1.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Told you try.
Okay, so we are
Sneeze
back
at him.
to the top with Savorlo. He is going to, you see him doing the same kind of hand motions and muttering. And he tries to shoot F with a fireball. Does a 16 hit you, F?
It does.
Okay, so you take 1 point of fire damage.
Oh,
And as you see the fire kind of hit Eth in the chest, you see this weird orange energy kind of surround him. You see his eyes start to kind of glaze over with a fiery redness. Eth, you can actually add to your let's see, what is it? Feats. You can search for Eth's scathing retort.
Sure,
And it's
menopause,
on
he's in
feats.
menopause.
Yeah, it's in feet. I can add it for you if you want to make it easier, but
yeah, about to say, I don't know if I can. Oh, there it is.
okay, I added it. And this one, the first time you can use it without any of the negative effects of it.
Okay. Oh, hang on. I would like to go ahead and do it.
Okay. So as you watch, as all of you watch F, the fire that is burning in his eyes, the orange red aura that is just surrounding his body, he holds up his hand and points at Savorlo, and you can see it's all kind of coalescing at his fingertips. And you hear Eth say something in a language that you have never heard of before, but just sounds like something straight from the pits of hell itself. He did fail his dex saving throw, so go ahead and roll damage.
Mhm. 14.
Okay. And that is Savorlo's turn. So now we are on Azer number 2, he had just come up here in the middle, so he will attack Zoros. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Zoros, he hits with his Warhammer, dealing 12 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of fire damage.
So I'm down 13.
Yes. And Faustus, we are up to you.
I'm gonna attack the same one from before. I'm gonna try to inflict wounds again as a first level.
Okay, so you're going after the one that just hit Zoros.
Yeah. And 21 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
Be 12 damage.
Mhm.
Let's see. That's necrotic. Not but it makes a difference.
Necrotic's fine. You hear him kind of scream in agony, and what you kind of notice is what you would normally think of as like a voice. These screams almost just sound like crackling of fire. It's not something that you necessarily have heard before, but that's probably the closest thing that you would have heard is just the crackling of fire. And we are at Zoros.
Okay, I'll hit the one that's already taken some damage.
Okay, that'll be the one that just attacked you.
Missed.
Okay. The Azer that was attacking Faustus is going to attack again. But he misses. So we are up to Azer.
Dang, they're all blocking me, aren't they?
Yeah, at the moment you would not be able to. You'd be able to squeeze by to about here if you wanted to, but that would be the farthest you'd be able to get.
Okay. Question for the DM. 2 questions. Am I able to know how people are doing health-wise? Even if it's not numbers like in our group?
I mean, you can ask them how they're feeling. They're not going to necessarily give you number wise, but they'll let you know if they're feeling bad, if they're okay, something like that.
And if I'm able to heal a creature of my choice, does that include the party, or is that like a literal creature?
No, what spell are you thinking?
Healing word?
No, that could be on any target you want, basically.
Okay. So I misread the ice one before, and I think it would end up hitting everybody. Does anybody need some extra boost? How y'all feeling?
I feel like I can take a few more pops.
Yeah, I can.
Anyone struggling?
I'm good for now.
So who did you do the ice knife on originally?
The one that your mouse is on right now.
This one? Okay.
No, it was the lower one.
Okay, the
That
lower one. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll because it should have done 2d6 cold damage. Go ahead and roll that because they both would have failed. The 2 that were there at that time would have failed.
Okay.
And we'll say it explodes outside of the range of Faustus and Zoros.
Okay. 5 and a 3, so 8 total.
Okay. There we go.
8 feet and 5 feet.
Because whether it hits them or not, it still explodes, and they have to do the dex save or take damage. So.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I didn't read it all the way. If I stay where I am and I hit the farthest one back at the top by the corner of that building, is that far enough away from everybody else in my range?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were going for like ice knife again, it would hit. It would be these three that would have to make.
Okay, I want to do
And I
that.
mean, ultimately, I can move you back here a little bit, so you're not in that range as well.
And yeah, and that way you also don't get attacked.
Oh yeah, as long as our party is safe.
Yeah, no, that'll be good.
Okay, cool. I want to do that then. So 19.
That will hit.
Okay. And then so it's 2d6 again.
So do the 1d10 damage
Oh,
for the
1d.
start.
Sorry. 9.
9, okay. And then what is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC. Is that the Dex 13?
Yeah, I think that's what it would be. Give me a second. Nice. Yep, okay, so yeah, it is 13. So one of them succeeds. We'll say this this one down here succeeds, but these two fail. So the top two take 2d6 damage.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
I'm better with ice.
Okay, that is your turn, and now we are at next Azer's turn, but he cannot move. So then we are at S.
Fire doesn't work.
Okay, so. Oh, everybody is around me. That's not good. I am going to. I'm just trying to see how many people I can affect. 1 plus the spell's level. Okay, that's only 2 people. Well, I can do 3. So I am going to use Thunder Wave at 2nd level.
Okay.
Everybody but Camel Toe. I'm going to wrap the spell around. So unfortunately, he's going to be affected. It's a 15-foot cube around me. So all of the guys that are within 15 feet of me, and then Camel Toe will need to do a con saving throw, please.
What's the DC?
13.
Please, for the love of God.
Surprisingly enough, only one person failed, or one person succeeded. Well, now 2, because apparently Camel Toast failed too.
Hang on. It's dexterity, right?
No, Constitution.
Constitution.
Oh, Constitution. Huh.
Not on the main page. That's on your main chart, not your. +2.
12.
Okay.
So everybody who failed take 10 damage.
Thanks,
And
buddy.
then you're welcome. And then typically you would be pushed 10 feet away, but since he's right up next to,
Yeah, he wouldn't move.
okay.
And this is the one that succeeded.
then then the one who succeeded would take 5 damage and then not be blown away.
All right. Don't die.
Okay. And then is that all you're doing?
Yes, I'm not gonna move.
Okay.
Yeah, you're still furthest back.
So so that one is going to come up, and since the only one that has damaged it has been F, he is going to take a swing at F. Does a 17 hit you?
It does.
I know. So you take 5 bludgeoning damage and 6 fire damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Beth might need some healing.
And then this one is going to come up, but can't get to anybody. Hamilton, it is your turn.
Yay. I am. Why not? Let's take another swing at that guy there and see if
Okay.
I can hit. It is a. Sorry, I'm on the wrong screen. 25.
That will hit.
Much better roll that time. All right. I am going to do. I'm gonna go ahead and do Divine Smite as well, since I've actually connected with somebody.
Okay.
So it is 2d8. Is that what it says? Deal 2d8 damage. Yeah, these I need to. No, this is a d10, d12. Sorry, looking for a dice. These. I need this one and this one plus 1d8 plus 4. So I need 3 of these.
That's these ones. Those are D8s. Those
Yeah.
are D8s.
3 of 3 times 8, 6, 14, 2 is 16 plus 4, so 20 total.
Okay, you see Hamilton come out with his long sword, and you see this white, kind of a not a white, but kind of like a dark aura around his blade, and he just cleaves that Azer. And in doing so, also takes 4 points of fire damage.
Weed.
And that one is no more. At this time, you start to notice the woman in the background is you see that she pulls out a rod of crystal that has a little bit of fur wrapped around it, and you can see her doing some hand motions and muttering to herself. And from her hands, you see a blinding white bolt of electricity arc towards the Azers. And they all fail, so this is not going to be good for them. You see these three Azers, the lightning just arcs all over their bodies, and they just turn to dust from the lightning. And you see Ilari look at Savorlo and just says, I told you I will not leave. Or I will not go with you. And Savorlo kind of looks at her and looks at you, and you can see him kind of judging his weighing his chances. And you see him just kind of pop his hand up and snaps and disappears. And then we are at Faustus. There is still one Azer left.
All right. Well, pitter patter. I'll walk up nonchalantly and do a
Saunter over.
second level inflict wounds on this thing.
Okay.
And that missed.
We shouldn't have walked up nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Zoros.
I'll
Alright,
cocksure for
I'm
no
gonna go
reason.
up and try to hit him. Yes,
Azair.
The slippery bastard.
Shouldn't have had that popcorn.
five,
I'm gonna-
three, and 9.
how close can I get? All the way up to him?
What's your movement speed?
30. There.
Yeah, you can get here.
I'm gonna do ice knife again, but actually at a second level, because I didn't know I could do that.
So if you do it, it's still gonna hit Faustus and Zoros.
Oh, it
'cause
is?
They are within melee range of him.
Oh, dang, never mind.
Didn't stop at
I'm not F. I'm gonna pull out my scimitar then and try and slice it.
Okay.
It wasn't that one, so
We'll
not so good at the scimitar either.
Like, is
So
this
as-
Azer greased up or something?
As you go to slash with your scimitar, you kind of cut through the Azer's flame on its head, and somehow your sword ignites and your sword is now on fire. And you weren't expecting that, and you kind of freak out and scream and just drop the blade.
All right, yep.
F, we are on to you.
I mean, I'm pretty much useless against these guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just hold. I hold a spell. I'll hold ice knife in case he starts trying to run away, and then if he does, that's when I'll use it.
Okay. It is the Azer's turn. Nobody hit it, so let's see who's gonna attack. It will be attacking Faustus. Does a 17 hit your Faustus?
No.
Okay, then it misses you. Hamilton, we are up to you.
I get to a place to where I can attack.
With your speed, you can get to the other side of him.
Okay, I might as well then. And I'll attack. 17.
That is what you need.
Boom! All right. I will go ahead and do Divine Smite again. And 10, 15, 19.
Okay, and you take 2 points of fire damage.
To be
He is
expected.
looking rough. You see Ilari kind of pull out what kind of looks like a long, thin strand of some sort of creature. And you see her kind of almost use it as like a bowstring, and you see the shimmering green arrow streak out towards the Azer. And it does hit. And you see this Azer just dissolve in a puddle of acid. And she kind of looks around, kind of on alert, and is just looking and trying to listen to any noise, any sign of anything. And when it kind of settles down, she wipes the dirt off of her clothes, and she looks to you and says, I don't know where you came from, but thank you for that. I fear what he would have done if he had taken me.
Happy to be of assistance. Sorry took us so long to get here.
She kind of looks at you strangely, and what do you mean by that?
Just, could have got here a little sooner, I guess, and maybe got the drop. I don't know. I'm just sorry. Just
What
talking.
my friend's trying to say here is that we usually show up where there's trouble so we can help.
That guy. There we go. He's more eloquent.
You probably should not let him talk very often, if this is how he talks to people.
He's usually the strong silent type.
He should stick to that role. So she says thank you, and she is still. She kind of looks at you a little bit and says, "You're not with them, are you?"
No. Question for the DM.
Yes.
Do we know we're here for Luna?
50-50 shot, right?
Give me an intelligence roll.
Oh, somebody else give him an intelligence check.
Oh, you're the one that asked.
God bless it. 20, Nat.
Boom.
So while you might not know exactly whose door this is, you, having looked at Ilari earlier when you were standing outside the door, you do notice that very striking resemblance to Luna. So you would kind of put the pieces together that this would be her door.
Okay. Okay, so I say we're looking for a young lady by the name of Luna.
When you mention that name, she just freezes and
We
kind of takes a couple steps away from you.
we mean her no harm. We know her from a quest that we had done together, and we are trying to find her. We feel like she might be in danger.
The weariness is still there, but you can see that she has a larger sense of confusion and says, I think you must be mistaken. There is no way that Luna has ever met you before.
To be fair, she might not remember us right away. I know.
She kind of
that
stares at
sounds
you.
weird.
We're from the future.
Oh, God. Oh my gosh.
She's in purgatory. We're trying to get her back.
So she kind of stares at all of you now, very confused,
It's not just me. That's
and
the,
says, I'll explain, but not here. Just follow me. And she turns and leaves the leaves the alley.
We'll follow. And I would just like to say that it was my outburst that actually, got things rolling.
So as she leads you through a winding city of, through the streets of the city, she comes across this house, and she holds the door open and beckons you inside.
Okay, I follow her in.
When you guys enter, you see a nice little house. It's not luxurious by any means, but it is comfortable. Sitting on a couch in the house is a human male, and as soon as he sees Ilari enter, he rushes to her and embraces her, and kind of stares at you all, and very cautiously just asks, "Who are you?" And before you have a chance to say anything, Ilari just pats his chest, says, "Don't worry, they saved me from Savorlo." And she turns to you and introduces the man as Rufus. This is her husband. She says, I don't believe I heard your names earlier."
One moment. Speaking of Manolo, is there any chance that he could come back since he just disappeared?
He is a man of many tricks. He does have the chance of coming back, which is why our plans need to start tonight. And she nods towards Rufus, and he gives her a knowing look, and Rufus leaves and goes upstairs. And she turns back to you and says, "I still don't believe I know your names."
I'm Eth.
Zoros.
Mazaire.
Hamilton.
That's Camel Toe.
Hamilton, please.
And Faustus.
So she kind of nods to each of you and turns to you and introduce yourself. She says, Savorlo belongs to a group called the Illuminati. They are hell-bent on ruling the world in any way possible. She kind of looks up towards the stairs and says, "Rufus and I once belonged to their ranks. However, once we learned that they have begun making clones to replace people and therefore have more control in the world, we knew we couldn't belong to a group like that. But as we're finding out, it's not easy to leave a group like this."
What town is this?
Yes.
I love that town.
It's a good town.
It is a good town.
I don't know, I didn't name it. It's a town with no name.
For the horse.
Secret.
They at this point there, she says, our only goal is to try and leave and start a new life and take our daughter somewhere safe. We have to be very careful. We only leave the house one at a time to at least leave someone here to protect our daughter. And the Illuminati are becoming more reckless and more aggressive in their capture. This is the first time that Savorlo himself has ever come for us. And that to us is a sign of how dangerous they are becoming. And so we need to leave. You all did me a great service in helping me escape from Savorlo. Please help us leave the city. Escort us somewhere new, anywhere that we can start a new life that will be safe for us and our daughter.
Question.
Yes.
If we kill Spinolo for you, Do you think you would no longer have to worry about leaving the town?
She kind of gives you a sad smile and says, as noble as that thought is, I don't know if you would be capable of killing Savorla. He is more dangerous and wily than you may have ever met.
And
Oh, you don't
to be
know me.
fair, he did just disappear with a flick of his fingers.
I mean, that is true. Okay.
Unless
Escort
we cut his
quest it
fingers.
is. I mean, that is also a good idea, Fester. We could also cut off his fingers.
Maybe there is a plan here.
As
If he has no hands, he can't.
as a fellow magic user, I'm sure you know that there are all sorts of tricks and spells that can be done without fingers.
That is true as well. Okay.
Well, I'm going to help.
Pretty much around the time that you agree, you see Rufus coming down the stairs again. He has a couple backpacks, and trailing at his hip is a young girl around the age of 10. And she kind of runs to Ilari, and Ilari kind of holds her out in front of her facing y'all and says, "This is my daughter, Luna."
I knew it.
Of course it is.
How old is
Hey,
she?
Luna.
The little girl kind of pipes up and she says, "I'm this many." I mean, she would know what these word for 10 is, but I felt like doing that anyways, because why not?
Guys.
We're from the future.
She just kind of looks at you and says, "Sure, yeah."
Don't listen
Um,
to the tiny human.
So Rufus says, "We're all packed. We're all ready to go." They kind of look at each other, and Ilari grabs Luna's hand, and they exit the house.
I am going to cast dancing lights and just have them like maybe 10 feet above us, just circling around. Well, that might be calling attention.
Yeah, let's not do that one. Can you keep them little by you?
I can keep them by me. I can actually form them into like a small child too. Do you want like a child of light walking with us?
That'd be so cool.
Would you
Why
be
don't we
interested
put-
in a
can we
child
put
of
the-
light?
Light.
Why don't we put the people with night sight in front and have
Yeah.
2 in front, 2 in back, and then we can go without light.
That's
Before we take off, just thinking out loud, healing. Does anybody like? Because I took quite a bit of damage back there, and if we run into more trouble, I don't want it to drop because
because of Thunder Wave.
Point.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people I can help, but I can help.
Yeah, but
I
then you
took-
use your spell and you won't get it back if we need it during combat.
True.
So we either heal. We either stay here one night, do a long rest, get our life back, or we waste spells and try to heal.
I don't.
Unless we can ask Luna's mom and dad, can you heal our wounds?
Question for
us?
the DM.
Yes.
Are spells just one shot, or are we able to use them multiple times?
You have a number of spell slots, and you can use multiple spells for different things. Like, so you used a ice knife at first level, right? And you used ice knife at second level, right?
I didn't end up using the
Oh,
second
okay.
level.
Then you
because-
did 2 ice knives at first level then, right?
Yes.
So if you look, you have 4 first level spell slots total and 2
Mhm.
second level spell slots.
Mhm.
So you can cast 2 more first level spells and 2 more second level spells.
Before a rest.
Yes, before a long rest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Before we like head out and all this, who actually took damage? Like
I did.
considerable.
I'm
Like how
Um,
bad?
below half.
I'm at half
I'm
exactly.
not, yeah, I'm not that bad.
So I'm at 12 out of 24 points. I'm squishy.
Okay.
12 out of 28.
So
25.
I mean,
I'm
I took so
actually-
much, but I can probably take a couple hits, and I mean, I can channel divinity and heal. How much is it? 15 HP divided among creatures within 30 feet.
So I'm going to share something that I just think is really cool, but not really related at the moment. So I actually learned that there's a D&D Beyond stream, like a add-on that I can do that actually shows everyone's health to anybody watching, and it's
Okay.
actually accurate. It's kind of cool.
Ooh,
I know.
Oh.
it's nifty.
faint.
Anyways, we can also wait around for like 10 minutes and we can roll some hit dice if that's what we wanted to do.
So if you remember, Ilari and Luna have already left the house. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are in the house with Rufus alone.
So
All right, well, we're stuck. Let's go.
I'll say a quick prayer on the way, and F heal up 6, and Hamilton heal up 9.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. While we're walking, I will try to not draw attention from Rufus, but ask, how do we make her big?
So hold on, we'll get to that in a moment.
I was
So
talking to-
as you leave the house, Rufus is the last one. You see the only thing he's really carrying with him is a giant leather-bound book. F, you would recognize this book as a spell book. And he just kind of turns back to the house and just gives a wave of his hand, and the house just erupts in a huge ball of flame. And he looks to you and says, "We better go before people come running."
Yeah. No turning back, I guess.
So at this point, we can do a group stealth check to see if you guys can escape the city unseen. You guys do have an advantage on it. So go ahead and roll a stealth check at advantage.
Well, I have disadvantage for stealth checks, so I guess I just do the one roll.
Yeah.
Thank you for advantage because my first roll was a nat 1. 14 total for me.
15.
9,
I had a 15.
10.
non-nat 20.
You guys managed to get by without drawing any attention. Thankfully, F did not make a child made of light walking next to him. But you hear a bunch of bells and sirens all kind of congregating on what you would assume was the burning remains of their house. And you guys are able to make it out of the city. They say they know a city that they think they could hide in. It's going to take about a week to get there, but they would greatly appreciate it if you came with them.
Okay.
Sounds good.
In for a copper, in for a gold.
Let's go.
You guys can all give yourselves a long rest because basically we're gonna, montage through the week unless there is anything specific you all want to talk about during the travel or accomplish during the week's journey.
The only thing that I would ever do at one point, if she would take it, is I would offer Luna the tarot card that I used to open up her door with. And I would just say, this is what brought us to you. Maybe one day you'll find a use for it.
She says thank you very timidly, but she takes it. She kind of looks at it and is almost tracing the drawing with her finger as you guys are on the journey. So after the week is out, you reach a new city, in which Ilari and Rufus are able to find and secure a humble house on the outskirts of just this massive city. They invite you as a thank you to stay there for the night, and as long as you may be with them, and they want to have like a nice meal and just a big thank you for everything that you've done to help ensure their safety and well-being for this time. As you go to bed for the night, your stomach's all full. You all have a really weird dream. You see the sun and the moon dancing in the sky in an endless loop. You see flowers springing from the ground before quickly withering and dying. You see snow falls heavily before melting. And you see Luna as a little girl slowly walking towards you. And with every step she takes, with the sun and the moon dancing in the background and the seasons changing, you see she seems to grow rapidly. After about 10 steps, after she's walked about 10 steps, you see what was once this 10-year-old girl now seems to be about 20 years old, standing in front of you. She confidently holds her head up high, shoulders back, with a beaming smile spreading across her face. You can see her mouth something, but you can't quite hear what she's saying. This is the Luna that you remember. And she keeps mouthing the words over and over again. But the voice that you then hear is actually the voice of Rufus. And the words you finally make out are saying, "Wake up." And like a start, all of you wake up at the exact same time. And you see Rufus standing in front of you. He looks pretty much as you remember him, but he looks older. He tells you, "Come on, we got to get up. Today's the day. Luna has won this really good award for her contributions to the science department at her college. The ceremony's today. We're all invited. We got to go. We are so proud of her." Come on, wake up.
I know I just woke up, but do any of the other people around me look like they've just aged 10 years?
Just you.
Nope.
Just
Nobody.
Story of my life, Luna.
Everybody in your group looks exactly the same as they did when y'all went to bed.
Okay, what the hell's going on?
I don't remember drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember drinking, but not that much.
Kind of looks at you. What are you guys talking about? Come on, this is a big day. We got to get going.
All right, let's go.
All right. Confused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
So
John.
as you part for the as you leave for the ceremony, Rufus and Ilari tell you that Luna has already gone ahead. She had to be there on stage ready for all of this. And as you get to the college, you can see that the crowd here is just massive. There are a lot of people cheering, having fun. and just enjoying the day. You can see the crowd had a special seat for Rufus and Alari up towards the front, since this is their daughter's ceremony. But at the moment, you guys are kind of in the back of the crowd, just kind of watching as the dean of the college gets up and gives this big stirring speech about all the contributions that Luna has done to the school, the steps and progresses that she has made ever since she joined. It is no one's surprise that that she is the one getting this award today. And as you are watching this ceremony, everyone give me a perception check.
There it is.
I got a 17.
18.
I got a 7.
Skills. 15 for me.
17.
Okay, so everybody except for Faustus, because apparently Faustus is just so involved in the speech and the crowd.
Very rousing speech.
You all notice that there are, while it's hard to walk through the crowd, there are some people that seem to be converging on where Rufus and Ilari are sitting. And they are getting through the crowd quite quickly.
How far away are we from them?
You are probably about 40 feet away from them.
So first I would do is I would point this out to Faustus. I'd be like, pay attention.
What?
There are people who are going towards the parents. We need to go and protect them.
Whose parents?
Luna's parents.
Okay.
Are they wearing something? He was really engrossed in that speech.
Can you point them out? Like, what are we talking
They're
about?
right
here?
there.
Okay, what do I see? Like, are they dressed differently?
You see a bunch of, like, probably about 5 or 6 people in white clothing, and they're coming from kind of all angles in the crowd, all walking towards the central point that is where Rufus and Ilari are sitting.
Okay, well, I go up to Rufus and Larry and say, it is time to go. They found us.
You try to get through the crowd, but the crowd is so dense that you can't seem to find a way through.
And you
But
said
they
that
can't
were loud
either,
as
right?
well, right?
What was that?
They won't be able to get through the crowd either if we can't.
Somehow they still are.
Of course they
They're
are.
almost weaving through as if they were walking through just water and just weaving through people.
About
But
how
they-
far? About how far are they?
They're about at this point they're probably about 30 feet from you, to 30 feet from you, about 10 feet from Rufus and Ilari.
I can start throwing spells if you want.
Can the half orc make people move by yelling? Because he's big.
You can try.
Hamilton.
Do my best, Andre the Giant.
Give me an intimidation roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
8.
You hear Hamilton trying to yell at, like, above the sound to get people to move, but his voice is just drowned out by.
I have a bad idea. How
I
far
like
away
bad
is the
ideas.
podium from me?
How far away is the what?
The podium?
It's about 45 feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna regret this later, but I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon, and a maze of light is just gonna show up in front of the podium and smash it.
What level are you casting spiritual weapon at?
It's a 2nd level spell.
Okay. So you go to cast the spell and you feel the magic kind of release as the spell ends, but your weapon doesn't appear.
Guys,
I'm gonna throw a firebolt at one of them.
Through the crowd?
Hell yeah.
At about this time, you see
I'm
that
worried
they
about
have
her fire.
reached
so-
to the figures in white have reached Rufus and Alari and have actually just kind of wrapped their arms around them as if, you know, kind of slinging their arms and just as if greeting an old friend and kind of talking with them. If you want to go ahead and try and do fire bolts, you can.
Don't know if these are bad people or what they are.
I think they're bad.
Yeah, but we just noticed they were charging up there. We don't know if they're a friend or foe, and
They're going quickly and they're surrounding them.
17.
You see as you cast the fire bolts, you see one kind of turn around and just wave his hand in the air, and the firebolt kind of impacts on like a invisible force that does not actually connect. And you hear the dean up on the podium, and he's all excited. He's like, "Looks like someone started the fireworks. Come on!" And the crowd just gets more and more frenzied and wild. And as you're watching, Ilari and Rufus, when the figures reach them, put an arm around their shoulder, you saw them kind of struggle at first when they looked and saw who was touching them. But then after a moment, both of them just fall limp. And the kind of the
Already
people
dead.
in white are kind of supporting them as to not draw attention that they dropped limp and are slowly walking out of the crowd.
Well, we can't follow because we can't get through the crowd, right?
Around this time, the ceremony is coming to an end. More fireworks have gone off. The crowd is starting to disperse a little bit. So you would be able to kind of start making your way through the crowd, but it is still a good number of people that are there.
Where's Luna?
Luna is on stage. You can see her kind of looking around for her parents and getting a little worried that she can't find them.
I guess I'm big enough in size. I'm just gonna start pushing through the crowd as quickly as I can, making my way, kind of making a wedge towards them.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. See if you can keep visual on them.
Seven.
You kind of get a little sidetracked. You are kind of able to guess the general area, but you did lose sight of them for a moment, and they now seem to be further away than you thought they would be at this point.
So I make my way towards the stage and yell at Luna, we gotta go.
Okay, Luna, what you doing?
Where are my parents?
We gotta go get them. They're in danger. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, so you jump off the stage. At this point, the crowd has pretty much all gone. Someone give me a survival check.
That doesn't sound good. You got a good one. Hole.
25.
Nat 20. Yeah.
Okay, so Azair, you are easily able to pick out from all the tracks that are in the dirt. You do see the sets of track that have kind of a solid track next to them, as if something was dragging someone along, and are able to kind of find where they went to. A short way from the celebration, you guys catch up and you can see a very familiar man. You see Savorlo giving the figures each a stone, and as you watch, they crush the stone in their hands, and they disappear one by one with a slight pop. And you see, or you hear Savorlo start speaking, but all the other figures that were with him are gone. And he says, it was only a matter of time before we found them. They can try to hide all they want, but our reach is far and wide. I see that Luna has grown up to follow in her parents' tracks. She'll make a great addition to the Illuminati. And all that leaves is you. He turns around and kind of looks at each of you and says, you could just walk away. Forget everything that you have seen and continue your lives. Or you can die right now.
Well, I'm not gonna.
Cowabunga it is.
At which
I'd
point,
rather not die right now, but we kind of have to get Luna back, so.
I mean, Luna's standing right next to you.
We gotta help. our
I'm willing
parents.
to
Or
fight
should we leave our
before
trust-
I'm willing to go back.
And you can see that Rufus and Alari are not there anymore. Savorlo is the only one that's standing in front of you.
And by any happens chance, there's no door that's magically popped up anywhere around, right?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He looks at you, Luna, and says, oh, my dear, we don't want to kill you, but your time is not quite right for you to join us. You have a little bit further to go before we want you in our ranks. So if you would like that time, by all means, just turn around. Your parents will be well taken care of. You know that. We wish them no harm. They've done great things for us.
I don't want to leave my parents in their hands, but I know that now is not the time to get them out.
He kind of smiles, a very cold and evil smile, and says, very smart move. And you see him crush a stone in his hand and disappears in a pop. So at this point, you are now standing pretty much on the college campus, kind of in like a little park area. The crowd has dispersed. Larry and Rufus are nowhere in sight, neither are Zoros or any of the figures in white. Luna, you know from many conversations with your parents that if anything like this were to have ever happened, you all have made plans to leave and try to disappear again.
I say, I need to go home and get my bag and leave and go far away till I get stronger. Thank you guys for all your help.
Well,
But I
we're
need
not
to
just gonna
go.
go, we're not just gonna let you go by yourself.
Yeah,
We're in this together. We've
Yep.
known you since you were little.
Little child of light.
So as you make your way back to Luna's house, she runs in and throws open the door and stops dead in her tracks. And as you all catch up to where she is, you all get a very cold shiver run down your spine as there in the main room Arilari and Rufus. They have a very wide smile on their face, but their eyes don't carry the same lightness as their smile. And they look at Luna and says, "Welcome home, dear. We are so proud of your award today." Rufus kind of picks up and says, "I think it's time that we leave the city and return home. We've been running long enough." Luna, you instantly recognize that these are not your parents. You know the work that they've done, and you know what's going on right now.
Oh,
They look at you and say, "Dear, why don't you run upstairs and get your stuff packed so we can go home?"
I say, yes, I'm gonna run upstairs and I'm gonna bring my friends with me so they can pack as well.
That
You
is a
all need to
wonderful
follow me
idea.
up to my room.
And they are more than welcome to
Okay.
come with us back to our home.
Well, I'll tell them about it, but I need to go get my stuff ready.
Well, hurry
So
on,
we
dear.
all need to go up to my room.
Oh, yes, we've got to pack. Let's go.
Okay, so you guys all go up to Luna's room.
And I need to tell you all that my parents came up with a way to clone people. That's why the Illuminati want them so bad, because they know the secret to cloning. And it's obvious that the Illuminati has figured out how to clone, because those are not my parents. Those are clones, and we need to get out of here and not go back with them. We can't go back with them. We need to go.
And as
And
you say
hide.
that, you all hear a click, and you all see light streaming in from behind you. Everyone else, this is very familiar to you at this point, but Luna, right behind you, as you look behind, is a door leading out onto a beach scene with the waves crashing in the distance.
There's our exit.
Who created the door?
Shh, let's go.
We don't know.
That's how we got here in the first place, was door like that.
You'll understand a little bit more once you walk through it.
I know it sounds crazy, but trust us.
Are you sure it's not a Illuminati trick?
Yep. It's the safest place you can be right now.
Think of it
And
like a
I will
window.
go through.
Okay, you see Rufus, or not Rufus, you see Eth step through the door, and all of a sudden he's no longer in the room, but he is standing on the beach.
This
Okay,
is our
I'll
seat.
follow.
We all go.
Let's go.
So as you go, everyone steps through the door. Luna, you step through last, and you kind of take a look around and kind of one last glance at this life. And you notice on your bed is a book. And for you, this is a very, very familiar book. It looks like your father's book.
Grab it.
I need to grab. You're not there. Be
Grab it.
quiet.
Grab it.
I grabbed the book before I jumped through the door.
Okay. Hold on, I'm trying to find something.
I made it.
That's why you can't go.
It's wild.
I can't remember what I named it. Hold on.
Wait. What did we do?
I jumped through the door with the book.
Yes.
Was it the one that was the blessing of Kelemvor?
No. That is
That's mine.
Was it firearm specialist?
No. It's
Was
not
it
on
blessing
here.
of the druids?
It's not. Stop looking at that stuff. That stuff is not for you.
I didn't activate any of them. I'm just reading.
Just activated all
Yeah,
of
don't
them. It's
read.
fine.
No,
Reading the names.
for some reason, it's not actually showing what it is.
Don't you
but
people
I
laugh at me.
will-
Tiny
I'll
human.
make sure it does. So you step through and you find yourself on a beach scene. And there we go. That was why. Okay. You do have a new item in your inventory that is Rufus's Guide to Alchemy.
Ooh, you have Rufus's Guide to Alchemy.
Way.
Under equipment.
Under equipment?
Yeah, it's under equipment.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It might take a couple minutes to show up, but it should be.
Okay.
So you guys all find yourself back onto the familiar beach. Luna, as you walk through the door, you start getting memories flooding back at you of meeting these people in Toll, meeting Roland, going to the mines, falling and dying in the mines, and yet here you are. You look around, and the only one that you do not see at this point is Rancent.
Bean Man himself.
We're missing somebody.
You remember?
We
Yeah.
are-
Yay, I do. I remember all of you. But I remember falling. I don't ever want to fall again. You
Next time,
dragged
do
me
what I
down.
did.
We're gonna try and avoid that.
Yes, let's do that.
So how
So-
did you survive that? I don't think we ever discussed that.
We
Oh, as
didn't
I
survive.
fell,
Came and pulled
I
us out of the past.
grabbed onto the ledge when I started to fall.
Should have thought of that.
You should have, but you didn't.
Definitely.
So I will tell Luna everything that happened after they fell. I will tell her everything that I talked to about the man in black, finding the tarot cards, going door to door.
And
And
as he
then-
mentions the tarot cards, Luna, you have an old tarot card with you. That is the Hangman card. And that is the one that Eth gave you when you were about 10 years old.
I have that.
In Hamilton, are you gonna give her the rock she needs?
I mean, yes, of course.
You think you're
That
gonna
was a
keep
no. You know that was a
Look, no, we got these whenever we were
He was like, what rock?
bringing,
What are you talking about?
when we were
They gave it to me. Shh.
when we were returning through my quest. We received these stones, and I hand her the stone and explained to her that these can revive us if and when we get into an instance where we need them again.
Oh,
And
thank
as you
you.
grab the stone, you feel kind of a warmth kind of wash over your body. And I added that stone to your inventory as well.
Okay.
Thank you. For reminding me.
So out of my pack, I will pull the one tarot card that I have left and say, this has got to be Ratchet's card. So let's go to
The next door.
find Ratchet.
Actually,
So as you walk along the door, along the beach, you know, a lot of you are pretty familiar with this by now. Until finally you see a door that is about a mile away on the beach. As you get closer, you notice that this door is made of a melange of woods, cherry, maple, oak, mahogany, all different colors create this door. And on the door is an image of a wheel. Each section of the wheel is a different color. Above the image, the words are carved, the Wheel of Fortune.
Are we ready?
Guess we're going to
Good.
casino.
Tap the card.
Is everybody good? Everybody
Ready?
prepared?
I
I'm
mean, I feel
assuming
like I
we're
haven't eaten in
everybody's-
10 years, but
What the hell was up with that?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody else have that weird dream, like crazy stuff happening, and then waking up and it was like in the future. Crazy,
Yeah.
And
crazy.
didn't you had that happen already? You found a skeleton. What's with all this time stuff? I don't know what year it is.
That's actually very accurate. I didn't even put those two things together.
What year is it?
Luna, you have absolutely no idea what they're talking about.
Not a clue.
So
You were
Luna, the
little
last,
and then you were big, and it
Yeah,
was one night for us.
the last 10 years of your life, were we just sleeping for all 10 years?
So let's ask Luna. Luna, what happened from the time you were about 10 to now? Because none of us remember that time. We all went to sleep, woke up, and you were older.
Do you remember us?
So Luna, from your perspective, you remember that, when you got to the new house, you had the big dinner with them. They all went to bed, and then the next morning they got up, they said their farewells, they left, and then about 10 years later they came back to check in on how the family was doing, and the next day was the award ceremony.
What?
I'm not sure what you guys were doing for those 10 years
So
that you
what
left.
happened-
I assumed you were off saving other people.
What happened with you?
do we look the same?
Me, I
You look
grew up.
exactly
I
the
went to
same.
school. Got to
That's-
college. I got fellowships in science and invented a wonderful science experiment that proved, I
What
don't know.
what was your experiment?
I was kind of wondering where she was going with that, if she was going to have the experiment.
What
It happened in the
There's
city
an
of no
award
name.
for it though.
Can you explain it in detail
Yeah,
for me,
what-
please?
No, I don't think we have time for me to go into details, and I'm not sure all of you will understand.
Talk to
Is
me
that-
like I'm a 3-year-old. What did it do?
That's some sort of shot at us dumb
So
fools?
we haven't changed in 10 years. Are we clones?
I'm not a clone.
Oh, Jesus, dude, don't ask that. I don't know what the name Jesus is, but don't ask that question.
You know Jesus. You've
Well,
heard of
the
the name
man
Jesus.
Jesus.
I
saw
don't
the-
think that you're clones. Clones are usually just a little,
They have a big red
Dumber.
nose and orange hair. Oh, wait.
Well,
no, not clones. They're usually just a
looking right
little
at the half
dumber, a
orc.
little slower. You can
that-
tell they're just not quite as good as the first one.
There. See?
not quite as the first one. I'm looking right at you, Kim.
Did we know what year it was whenever we started the quest, or is this a yearless time?
At this, like in this world, when you pretty much have started, everyone pretty much lost track of dates and time and
Okay.
years, and just the most common expression that you heard when referencing that is everything has just moved on.
Okay, so we have no perception of anything except.
Well, I
what is
mean,
bigger.
right. Well, we know days and nights because.
Yeah.
But.
But we have no idea how
don't-
long you were out. We have no idea. Well, we have an
Exactly.
estimate on how long
We were
Luke-
out.
Exactly.
you were out.
Well, I think we should open the door and see if we can't find Rancid, and maybe answers will come as the party all comes together. Maybe.
And time is
I
just
hope.
a concept that we created. So we can always create our own time now. It is irrelevant.
Science was your forte, not philosophy.
Is that-
Hey, I took more than just science.
She has
He's
a minor in
well-rounded
philosophy.
individual.
Did Eth actually get older? or-
Yes.
Watch it.
Tiny human.
F looks exactly as you remembered him in Tull.
Okay, I misunderstood. Everybody was making jokes, and I thought he was old now.
Nope, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, I
everybody is
mean,
exactly.
I mean, look at him.
He just
Outside
felt
of-
like he was getting
Clearly, he's
older.
aged.
Bushy beard.
What's that supposed to mean?
F looks the same because he can't possibly get any older.
that's true too. And with that, I'm gonna take the fucking card and I'm gonna touch the door with it.
It's time to move on.
You hear a very familiar click.
And F pushes me through.
You can throw the dwarf, right? I heard of that once.
Yeah, toss the dwarf.
Is that one yours?
That's where I come in.
Nope, that one's mine.
So
So yeah, open the door.
as you open the door slides very easily as if on a track. And the scene before you is a very unusual one. Inside the doorway is very dim. You see an island surrounded by water, but it doesn't look to be out in the ocean. It actually looks to be in the middle of a cave. The walls and ceiling of the chamber are made of rough-hewn stone, reaching up to about 50 feet high. Dark water spreads out around this little island in the cave. Standing on the island, you see a very unusual group of people. You see a very masculine-looking woman with misty blue hair. You see an elf in chain armor, small arcs of lightning dancing around him. You see a gnome in robes holding a book out in front of him, prepared for an attack. And you see an anthropomorphic cat stands with a short sword and dagger held at the ready. And lastly, you see a man that looks to be made out of metal next to the cat. His rapiers are attached to his wrist by chains. They all stare at the water as if waiting for something. And after a moment, you see bubbles begin to rise out of the water. More and more reach the surface as two large green lobster creatures burst out of the water. Hold on, I'll show you what the creatures are. So you see these two of these large green lobster creatures just burst forth from the water.
Those are pretty.
And you see tentacles from another creature that are rising out of the water and slam onto the beach. You see the people on the beach rush forward to meet the attackers head on. While you're kind of watching this fight start and take place, you can hear a very harmonic melody echoing throughout the cavern, and everyone except for the cat seems to shake their head as if waking up from a dream. But you see the cat's eyes glaze over and the cat stops attacking the lobsters. And then, as if sleepwalking, you see the cat start to attack the gnome.
Do we recognize any of these things?
You don't recognize anything or anyone.
I think this is the wrong door.
As
This
you're
is a
standing there
very
watching,
confusing.
you see the cat slam its dagger into the gnome, and the gnome just falls limp. And you see the cat just going around to each of the people, and while they're trying to fend off the attacks from the lobsters, you see the cat just slay every one of them. And the last one left is the robot, until the robot finally dies. And as the robot dies, you see the room and the door go black. And as you're looking, you see dim light begins to grow in the room. And you look to see that the scenery has now changed. And now you're looking into a cemetery. The sun is in the sky, yet the light seems stuck in an eternal twilight. There's another group of people that are in the cemetery. You see a male elf wizard holding a spell book. You see a female human fighter just growing madder by the second. You see a male half-orc paladin and a human rogue. and they're all staring at the sky as a female figure is flying around on the broom. As the female cackles, she says a word, and you notice, and the group that's in the cemetery looks all around them, and they start to notice movement and start to kind of get into defense formations as you see scarecrows jarringly move towards the group, arms raised, ready to attack. As the group fights, they're able to fight off the scarecrow. That's not really giving them much of an issue, but you see the witch on the broom continue to attack from above, casting spells on the party as they're distracted. As the last scarecrow just dies into a limp pile of hay, the witch points her finger at the rogue and says a word, and instantly the rogue just drops to the ground, life gone, drained out of him. And you see a little white wisp of light appearing above the rogue's body and raises into the sky, and the light just goes black again. After about 15 seconds, you see a blinding light explode in front of your eyes. You see now a view in what looks to be a hot and humid jungle. All around are the ruins of what once had to have been a great city. And as you're looking around, you see a group of people run by. You see an elf wizard, you see a female ranger, a rogue, and a barbarian. And what you notice at this point is that rogue looks really familiar to you. That rogue seems to be Ransom.
Found him.
There he
Okay, but
is.
what were the scenes beforehand?
Ransom.
Anybody? And
Was it all Rancid?
Well, that will be up to him to decide, but I was actually addressing Ransom at this point.
Oh.
Ransom,
I've died a lot.
you are currently in the lost city of Omu with your group trying to, you were sent here by a woman who is dying to destroy the soul trapper that is stopping her from basically coming back to life and is slowly sapping her strength. So you are currently with your group trying to navigate through the lost city of Omu to find all the temples to find out where the soul trapper is.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough for that, so I follow whoever looks smarter as usual, and I recognize a wizard.
Oh yeah, the wizard's pretty much going, and you guys are just exploring the city, looking at each of the ruins in turn.
For those of us outside the door, does the door follow this group? Like how I saw the scene from Zoros's, is the scene following the group, or is it
This
stationary?
one is not. This one is stationary.
So at that point, then I would say if they start to get away from us, we're probably gonna have to jump in through the door just to see what's going on.
They are already outside of the door's range. They have run off down a pathway in the city.
So are we going?
We gotta keep track of them. I've never
Yeah.
seen this place before.
Oh boy.
So I push Zoros through the door.
The tiny human, yeah.
Give me a strength
Ow.
check.
Wait a minute, with those scrawny little arms of yours?
You hang on, I might roll really good.
Zoros, give me a dex saving throw.
In the distance, you hear, "I am the wind," while I hide in direct sunlight.
13, and I don't know what my bonus is.
Oh, then you already beat me because I rolled a 12.
+1.
So Zoros kind of has a little danger sense. And he kind of hears your footsteps coming, and as you go to try and shove him through, he nimbly dodges out of the way, and you actually go sprawling through the door itself.
That
And
sounds
you are
about right.
now in a hot and humid jungle surrounded by ruins.
Everybody after the human. Let's go.
No, I say let him go do it.
We can't lose. We don't want him to die. So he
Okay,
brought us all
fine.
back.
That's true.
Okay.
I
I'll
mean, you
jump
have to
in
die
and go with
twice.
you.
All right, I'll
Jump in.
go.
As
My
each
hair
of
will
you
immediately
jump
go.
as each of you jump through, Azaire's hair now looks like Courtney Cox's hair from Friends when they went down to Jamaica, and
Yeah.
and you guys are now standing in the very hot, very humid jungle. Give me a survival check to see if you can find the tracks of where they went.
22, net 20.
9.
21.
I'll be of no use, obviously.
Hamilton and Azaire, you are easily able to follow the tracks. There aren't a lot of fresh tracks here, so you guys are able to pick it out easily. As you come upon the group, you see that they're standing in front of a small temple. Vines have overgrown the stonework. On the front of the temple is a stone carving, looking like a panther with snakes growing out of its neck and back area. You see Rancent is slowly creeping towards the temple. Everybody else is at the ready with weapons drawn. And that is kind of what you see
The wind.
as Rancent is trying to sneak up to the front of the temple.
This didn't go well for this group. We need to interject.
Well, this is a different group. This is like the third group that we've seen.
Yeah, but it hasn't gone well to this point for his groups or for this group. So
For any
yeah,
group.
maybe.
Do we jump in?
I was about to say, I don't think we should sneak up behind them and say, hey, we're here to help you, but they're just going to turn around and start shooting whatever they have at us. I say we just wait to see what happens.
I'm on the same path. Let's pump the brakes. And
But I mean, is it worse if we follow them into the temple? We could be like elephants, and I don't know what an elephant is. We could be really loud walking up, and then it's like, we are purposefully here.
I mean, Luna's
As opposed to what? We stumbled upon it? Okay, let's do that.
Are we sending Luna to the front lines?
Yeah,
she's the talker, right? She can go and schmooze her way into and introduce everybody. And
I think that they're going to be at the ready to kill us no matter what. So is it better to be potentially attacked before we get in there or after we get in there? In the open space, or there might be stuff in the temple that will try and get us to. And then
I think it would
I
be
can go talk to 'em.
better if we waited for combat to begin and then we join them so that they can see, oh, hey, these folks are killing the same things that we are. They're the good guys.
friend of your
yes, we could convince
Your
him that
friend
we
is
were
your
sent
friend.
by a soul,
enemy is
a woman looking to save her soul by bringing back or killing the creatures that are stopping her soul from moving on.
Well,
or
we
being
don't know
able to
that,
go
though.
back. Oh,
well, let's
Only Rancid knows that. We
I
don't know
think-
what we're here to do other than
I
get
think
Rancid.
F's idea is good. The I don't remember how it goes. The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
there you go. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yes.
To be
Let's go
fair,
back
if memory serves me right, Rancid does kill pretty indiscriminately.
True.
And loves beans.
Well,
So
here
maybe if we approach him
he-
with beans,
And rotten eggs. We might have a shot.
does anybody have the beans in their bag? We can like present an offering.
I say we
do not
watch
keep
and
any beans.
I say we do the idea of let them get in combat, jump in and help if they need it.
Yep.
I think
Alright.
that's going to be our best bet. I don't want to die.
Again.
You have the stone, so you won't.
True, but I don't want to use it because Rancid killed me.
Well, that's true too.
I have Ransom Stone, so I could always use that in case he kills me.
What stone?
Stone.
You guys got stones?
So strangely enough,
ate 'em.
Hamilton, that stone that you have that you know is for Ransom, just feels like a regular rock to you. It doesn't have the same warmth that all of the other stones do.
No,
That's right.
for you.
So as you are talking about what you want to do, you hear a loud roar echo throughout the jungle. The rogue has reached the front of the temple, and you see a large cat-like creature jump and land on top of him. But this cat, pretty much similar to the carvings that you have seen, actually has snakes growing out of its back and neck area.
How kind of cat is that?
Use the cat.
That's slightly horrifying.
Can Nazir turn into that now?
Is it that's probably a monster, not a creature.
That is correct. You cannot turn into it. It is a monstrosity. And with that, you see all of the party that is there, draw their weapons, and you see that cat leap onto Rancid as the cat lands on top of him, fangs bared, snakes biting any flesh it can find. The group runs forward to try to help Rancid from the snake when they hear another roar from behind them as another one of them skulks from the shadows.
Time to go.
Clever girl.
Avenge me! That was the wind.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's
Going
do
in.
it.
Are we leaving?
No, we're going and fight the cats.
We can go ahead and
Charge!
roll initiative.
You want one for me too, right?
Yes, because you are now in this.
Yes, but I also know what level that Rancid is. So what level is that Rancid?
We'll say that Rancid is level 3. Pretty much just it's your character as it is now.
Okay.
At Ransom?
That life was at 7, so that's why I was wondering.
He can explain that if he wants to. If you guys survive.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was Rancid.
Yes.
You
Rancid
saw
the cat, like
you,
being.
you recognize that Rancid. Let's see.
Ooh, do I have any type of plus?
Nope, you're dead.
Initiative.
Yeah, I had an 8.
Oh,
Plus
yeah,
one is
Got a
9.
plus 2.
You only have +1.
You still beat me. See, you changed to purple. It's better. Okay. It's the color of royalty. I have 0 charisma. I'm the most.
I have a plus 4 with my charisma.
You're an orc. How does that even happen?
Stacked on. So, hey, pretty lady.
What?
We have 2 big cats. That's what we're up against right
That
now.
we know of.
Snake cat.
You are
Snacks.
Sneet. 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 It's literally Sneet. Oh my gosh.
25 to 20.
21.
20 to 15.
19.
17.
15. Sorry.
Hey, look at us go.
Who had 18, Faustus?
Yep.
Okay. 15 to 10.
Did you get my 15?
Uh-oh.
I have 10.
What'd you get, Zoros?
8.
8. Okay.
Oh, not too bad.
Said 9.
9, sorry, 9.
Okay. Um, okay, so the Kamadin, which is what they're called, that is attacking Rancent will continue to attack. Rancent, I'm guessing a 23 hits you.
Oh, yeah. No matter
so-
which one it is.
So it deals, you deal 8 points of piercing damage as it bites you. And that is its turn. So Rancent, it is your turn.
DM question. Do
Yes.
I have the knowledge and abilities that that character would not? Or just the rapiers?
I think to make it easier, we'll say it has that is you up there,
If I
not
dip my arrow in
that
stuff,
version of Rancent. So it is the
I have to
arcane
roll
trickster Rancent right there.
that
Okay.
fire, kill me.
All right, so then I immediately press my hand into the chest of it. And I don't think a 10 hits.
It does not.
So my glowing just fades out, and whatever that was going to be neat. I will offhandedly try to.
Was it one of the 2 spells that we had talked about?
No,
Okay, good, because you don't have those yet.
it's one of the ones that I already have a cantrip.
Okay.
So I will offhand with my rapier that's tied to me with a 14.
That'll hit.
Where is my group relative to me? You know why I'm asking.
So these 3 are your other group members. The other, everybody else in the group is down here at the bottom.
Okay, then I deal a total of 4 damage.
Okay. Yes, no sneak attack. It knows you're there.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if they were close enough, so.
No. Hamilton,
All right. Which one am I?
right here.
Can I reach the cat?
Not this one, but you'd be able to reach this cat here.
One. Yeah. I'm going to, from behind, attack cat.
Okay.
Why you gotta be like that? 9.
9 does not hit.
Do I get any sort of advantage from attacking it from behind?
You do not.
Oh, boo.
So that is Hamilton. So we go to Faustus. You are this one right here. You're also muted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was still just figuring out what I'm gonna do.
One stand and one set.
All right, I'll go up to the same one. Let me go one more forward so that it's like a diagonal.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll do inflict wounds as a first level.
Okay.
And that's a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
And that's just 9.
9. Okay.
What you had to hear.
Okay. It roars
I'll
in.
figure out
Luna, we are up to you. You are the one right here.
And where?
You are the.
How far away is that?
Which one? So this one that the other 10
Well, the first one.
attacking are only about 15
Yes.
feet away.
So I needed to be farther from my bow.
No, you can actually use it just fine.
Okay,
I think I may have said
so
those
I'm
things.
sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm throwing my 20, right, to see if I hit.
Yes,
I got a natural 20.
that is definitely a hit. So roll your damage. So 1d8. So you're going to roll 2d8 and add 4.
2d8?
Here,
2d8.
these 2. 6, 7, and 4 is 11.
11, okay. So I think I might have earlier misread the range and told you about that wrong. So you see how it says 150 and 600?
Uh-huh,
So the 150 is as long, that's the max, like if you go beyond 150 feet, it'll be disadvantage. If you go beyond 600 feet,
Okay.
you can't hit whatsoever, but anything under 150 is just fine. So 11
so just
damage.
1d8,
No, you roll damage, you're good. There's 11 damage.
okay.
Okay. So that was Luna, and then Azair. You are right here.
Oh, they're all right up on that cat, aren't they?
You can light it on fire.
I'll light you on fire.
You
That's
probably would.
the problem.
Oh, hi, kitty.
I mean, it was attacking you.
I believe I'm
Um,
prone and it was on top of me from the description,
That's
technically.
true.
are they Hamilton and Festus are both within the 5 feet?
Yes.
Just ready an attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold a second level ice knife
Okay. What are you
right
holding it
now.
for?
Do it.
What are you holding it for? What's the action that's going to trigger it?
It's wonderful.
If Hamilton and Faustus back up a little bit.
So when it gets to their turn, basically when it gets to the top of the round, if you don't use that spell, you lose it.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, dang.
You did
Um,
not. Hurt yourself.
F, you're on deck.
Sorry, I
Oh,
thought
you're fine.
I could figure this out.
You could just chill back there for the time being.
You hit the one in the farthest away.
Yeah, how far can you throw? Well, I guess you're gonna.
I'm gonna hit you guys is the problem. And you'll freeze.
Sweet.
I'm just gonna run up and try and slash it with my scimitar for right now.
Okay.
That's an 11.
That will not hit, unfortunately.
Oh,
Wait,
I do. 15.
That will hit.
I got it. See? I wish I could have.
And then a d6 plus 2. 7 damage.
Okay. We are now up to F.
So I will take aim at that kitty directly in front of me, and I will throw 3 scorching rays its way.
Well, you're over here.
I can still throw 3 scorching rays its way, can't I?
I don't know if you were doing this one or this one.
Oh, no, the one that's closer.
Okay, yeah.
You good?
Yeah. but not that. I didn't
Will a
know
13 hit?
It will.
So the first ray will do 7 damage.
Okay.
The next one is a 14 to hit, so it is another 7 damage.
Okay.
And then my third ray is a 19 to hit, so it will take another 9 damage.
Nice. Okay, that is now looking quite singed and not healthy at all. Zoros, we are up to you.
Okay. See if I can hit something. Nope.
What'd you get?
Huh?
What'd you get?
7.
Okay. Right up there. Okay, so it is this guy's turn. He is going to attack Hamilton because I don't think Faustus did it. Hamilton, does a 13 hit you? I don't think it does.
That's armor class, right?
Yeah.
No, that does not.
So that is that's turn. Now we get to the other group. Mhm.
It didn't look like cut.
He got it. Scraped him a couple feet down. I showed it from a different angle earlier.
So the wizard is going to point his finger at the Camadin that's attacking Rancent, and you see a familiar streak of electricity strike out. Just make a dex saving throw. No. You see the lightning bolt hit him and strangely does not. It kind of, you almost see the lightning like bend around Rancent to where it actually does not even touch him. So that is his turn. Fighter is going to come up and attack this one. He comes and slashes with his great sword, and you see his gouges two long slashes into the side of the Camadin. This ranger is actually going to attack the Camadin that's down here. Nice. You see as the ranger just lets loose two arrows in quick succession, and they fly through the air and just embed themselves in the Camadin's head, and it actually dies. And then we are back up at the top of the round with the Camadin that's on Rancent.
Oh.
Non-natural 20.
Will definitely hit.
Give me a Constitution saving throw. You take 7 piercing damage, and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Nat 20 on the Constitution for a 22.
Okay.
And you said I take 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you also take 22 points of poison damage.
22?
Oh, sorry, no, 12. You take 12 points of poison damage.
I'm
as
unconscious either way.
the
I was at 9.
snakes start biting you and just, pierce your skin multiple times.
Okay, I'm unconscious.
Okay. It is your turn, so go ahead and give me a death saving throw.
All right, I gotta find how I roll that in this. Okay, anyone seen death anywhere? I'll just roll a 20, I guess.
That works.
It's a 6.
That is one fail. You all see Ranson's body just go limp as the snake bite into him. That is his turn. So Hamilton, it is your turn.
I assume I'm far enough away that I won't be able to get there this turn, correct?
Correct. You'd be able to get here is the closest you'd be able to get.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna stay further back, but in a clear line of sight. And I'm gonna try and shoot the cat.
Okay.
So this is the guns of my father. Is this, I guess, question for the DM? Just a D20 again?
Yep, it is just a normal attack roll.
It's a non-nat 20.
That will definitely hit.
Okay.
Well, so
You don't have
the
a positive for the guns of my
Oh,
father.
yeah, I was say you have a
Oh.
plus. You have a +0 for that. So
That's right. So 14.
that'll hit.
Okay. So then it is 2d8. 4 whole damage.
Okay. You hear a loud gunshot echo that you are pretty familiar with. This Camadin's looking rough. Faustus.
Okay. Let me double check something here. Okay. So I will go ahead and say a little prayer to Mishakal and do some healing from a distance. I'll channel divinity and heal Ransom for 15.
So as you go to do this prayer, it's one of the few times. What's your god's name?
Mishakal.
Hold on, I'm just looking at something real quick. You hear a voice in your ear that is very soothing and warm, and you've heard it a few times in your worship of Mishakal. And she says to you in a very soft voice of, "This is not the time nor the place. Sorry." And you feel the magic just kind of sizzle.
Okay, that's never happened like that.
That's what they always say.
Doing anything else, Faustus?
I mean, technically, that was my action.
Luna, you
Campbell-Toe's
are
gonna
up.
pee himself.
Okay, how far away am I?
About 50 feet.
Okay. I just rolled a 4.
That does
I
not
don't
hit.
think I can hit him.
It does not. Azair, you're on deck.
I am going to turn into a brown bear.
Let me see if I have a bear.
What do you see?
So you all see Azair take the form of a brown bear.
And I'm gonna charge the cat, and I actually get 2 attacks, a bite and claws.
What's your movement speed as a brown bear?
40.
Okay, yep, you easily get right up to it.
So question for the DM, since I've got both, is that just 2 D20s?
Yes,
See what hit?
yes, the attacks are different.
Okay, so for bite, a 10.
That does not hit.
Okay, and then claw, oh, wait, there's a plus. So bite would actually be a 16.
That will hit.
Okay, and then do you want me to do damage first or attacks for both?
Do the damage first.
Okay, that's 1d8. 11.
As you go down to bite, you actually manage to snag it in its jugular, and you just rip with all your ferocious might as the throat of the Kemidin is now hanging out of your mouth, as the body just kind of stumbles for a moment before dropping dead.
Lord.
Roar in a guys, did you see that way?
You all just hear a loud roar from this bear. You see all of Ranson's party run up to him and try and like shaking him awake. They're asking each other if anyone has any potions, but they're all saying that they're all fresh out. They haven't had time to go back to the town to buy any more potions. And they look up at you and say, I don't know where you came from or why you decided to help, but can you do something? Can you help him?
Brown bear, what do you see?
I'm gonna turn back into me again, so that I can actually hold a conversation. Are they talking to me or us in general?
You in general.
So all of us there's
I
talking
mean-
to.
My first attempt to save him did not really pan out.
I can lay hands on and try to heal him that way.
As you go to lay hands on him, you kind of feel the magic building in your hands, and you feel a very gentle hand on your shoulder. And as you turn around, you actually see a cloaked figure in black, and you just hear a very gentle voice saying, "This is not the place for this." And the cloaked figure looks up and kind of behind you, and you all hear a familiar click, and you all feel the sunlight streaming in from behind you, as you see the beach scene again.
Well, let's take Rancid to the beach.
Well, tell his friends we know how to save him. He's got to come with us.
Give
that
me
notice,
a persuasion check with advantage.
Just me?
Just a there.
She was the one that was telling that to him.
Oh, dang, I got no persuasion.
But you have advantage. So.
I had 8.
You can see that they're hesitant about it, but they kind of look and confer amongst each other, and they're like, I don't have anything to heal him. I don't have, we have to just trust. And they finally kind of step back and agree to let you. They just say, just save him.
Are we all good with that? Let's.
I mean,
So-
somebody's gonna have to pick him up and take him through.
I got him.
It's
Okay,
the
Hamilton,
strongest.
you're easily able to, well, no, Zoros is probably the strongest. Hamilton, you're able to pick him up easily, and you turn around and you step through the door, and in your arms is Rancent, and you can lay him down on the beach. as everybody
Whoa,
one by
whoa, whoa,
one,
whoa.
as
Whoa, now.
everybody one by one steps through the door as well, and you find yourselves back on the beach as well.
Do you softly lay your hands on him now?
I can.
Again,
Mine isn't, I can try and heal him. Mine isn't connected fully with the god. It's with nature in general.
My God said no.
If your guys'
Yeah.
god said no, do you want me to try?
Well, just
Try
remember,
anything.
Hamilton, your God just told you that this wasn't the place.
Yeah, I think we can just redo what we were doing. He just couldn't be res.
Everybody
I'll-
heal?
I can try to do hands-on here now that we're not there.
So
See
you all
it.
see Hamilton's hands kind of glow in like a dark black aura as he touches Ransom and
voodoo.
pumps in how much?
Do 10.
Okay, Ransom, you get 10 hit points and you are you regain conscious, and as you are laying there in like unconscious when they brought you through, you are having these dreams of versions of you that you don't recognize. You see everything between a rogue, a ranger, wizard, barbarian, sorcerer. You see races of all kinds, robot, tabaxi, Arakoa, Goliath, like every conceivable combination of race and class. And you just see an infinite number of Ransons, and you get glimpses into their lives. You see some of them die, and you feel the pain of them
Some.
dying. You see some of them skulking through dark dungeons looking for traps. You see some of them doing very, very unspeakable things in dark alleyways with people paying you.
That sounds accurate.
Oh, God.
You see all of these, and then you feel the life force of Hamilton laying on hands, and you wake up on the beach, and you still have all of these visions in your head of all these different Ransons. But you also get the memory flooding back of meeting all of these people in Toll, working with Roland dying in the mines. And you are now conscious laying on the beach.
I stare at the wizard and say, "Why are you always there?"
Why were you a cat?
I was not a cat that I know
No,
of.
not you. I was talking to Ransom.
Oh,
I have never been a cat.
Oh.
I was the robot.
Rancent, you can I'll give it to you because it's just easier. I'm adding a feat to you right now.
Ooh, you have 3 feet.
Actually, hold on a second. You gotta edit something first.
Also, Faustus, why don't you see invisible anymore? Now, where did my blue arm go?
So
What do you mean, see
technically,
invisible?
you were not in the campaign where Faustus could see invisible.
that's right.
I was for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
He saw invisible while I was there.
So yeah, you do remember Faustus being a very weird anthropomorphic rat.
He was
Very-
naked all the time. So
Not-
much skin.
So you have a new feat that I gave you, called the Wheel of Fortune. So now you get the 2 spells that we had talked about,
Yeah, okay. I know this.
and we will call the night there and pick it up.
What
next time.
the literal hell has happened today? Good God.
So thank you everybody for joining. Hopefully those that watched had fun with it, and we will see you in a couple weeks. Have a good year.